So Power BI is a data visualization tool. So let's proceed about Power BI. Power BI is a data visualization and a business intelligence tools that converts the data from the different sources to interactive dashboard and BI reports. Now, let me give you one example over here. I'm opening this data, right? I have a small data in front of us. This data is about an online store. This is the data about an online store in which I have the order ID, order date, ship mode, and this is the 4 years data. 4 years data. This is a data for US online store. Okay, so we have the order date over here. So you can see 2014 to 2017. This data we have. We have the ship dates and all. Then we have the information about the customer, like the name of the customer, customer ID, country, city, state, postal code, region. And these customers has been divided into 3 segments: consumer, corporate, home office over here. Then we have the information about the product, that a product has an ID. We have 3 categories of the product over here, that is furniture, office supplies, and technology. These categories has been further subdivided into subcategories, like if it is furniture, what in furniture: table, chair, bookcase, etc. Right? Then we have the sales value over here: sales, quantity, discount, and profit. Okay, so here we have the value over here. So overall I have 21 fields in this data, and I have somewhere around 10,000, and to be specific 9,994 records are available over here. So this is the data we have. Now out of this data, if I ask you which is the particular region which is from where we are getting the maximum sales, which is the particular region from where we are getting the maximum sales, which category of profit, category of the product, category or subcategory of the product is giving us the maximum sales, or how is the sales performance in the 4 years, and so on, right? So if I want, I can get this to certain extent. I can visualize it in Excel as well. However, let's see what can be done if we use Power BI for it. Here it is. Here is the visualization of that data using Power BI. So you can see from the 10,000 records, the total sales generated is 2297,000. 2297,000 is the total sales generated. The total profit is 286,000. The maximum sales has been generated from phones, and the most profitable was computers. Technology category has given us the maximum sales, and phones and chairs given the maximum revenue. If we talk about the region, we can see that the west is the region which has given us the maximum sales. South is contributing comparatively less. Talking about the segment, we can see that the maximum sales, somewhere around 50% of the sales, has been generated from the consumer sector. Okay, and here we are getting the year-wise bifurcation of the sales, so in which we can see that the sales is continuously growing. Only in the year 2015 we have seen a slight dip in the sales. Okay, not only this, if you will see in the 4 years, these are the top 3 customers who have given us the maximum business. Top 3 customers in the 4 years. Okay, then suppose you want to talk about a particular region, so I can clear it out and I can say I just want to talk about the western region. So we are getting the details about the western region. In western region, the maximum sales has been generated from chairs, and the most profitable is copiers over here. The total sales generated is 725,000, and the total profit is 188,000. Okay. Now, similarly, if you want to go for a particular state, you can say, let's take California. So it is giving you the details about the California only. Total sales from California is 457,000, and profit is 76,000. Not only this, let us take, I want to talk about the consumer. I'm getting the details of consumer. I want to talk about the South region. All the visuals are displaying the details only for the South region. I want to talk about technology. See, I'm getting the details of technology only. I want to see the details of the tables. I'm getting the details of the tables only. So by this, I want to show you the interactive nature over here. The power which Power BI provides. Now think, if you have to do the same thing in Excel, it will take a lot of efforts to do so. And you will not be able to create an exact replica. The efforts and time will be required to do this thing in Excel. But in Power BI, it can be done very easily and in more, without writing any code, nothing. Less time, easily, more effective, we can create in Power BI. Okay. So this is what, so I just wanted to show you what you will be able to achieve after completing this module. So in this module, the agenda is we will be providing you the information, we will be guiding you how to create this type of reports. The visual which you are seeing in front of you, it is known as report, which is a collection of multiple visuals. So this is, so after creating, doing this 4-hour modules, you will be at a level to be able to create this report. This type of dynamic report you will be able to create. Are you ready for this? Type in yes if you are ready for this. Wonderful. Great. Okay. Right. Thank you for your responses. Good. Good energy. Keep it up. Now let's proceed further. Let's proceed further, and now let's talk about more about Power BI. First of all, I have shown what can be done in Power BI. Now let's talk more about Power BI. So Power BI, as the name says, power. It is a collection of the components. Power BI is a collection of components where we have multiple things, like we have something known as Power Query, which is used to clean the data. Many a time you will come across a situation when the data is not ready for the visualization. So in that case, we can utilize the Power Query to make the data ready for the visualization. Then we have something known as Power Pivot, which is used to work with the multiple data sources. Many a times you will see, or I should say most of the time you will see, that data is being distributed into multiple tables. So how to work with that, we can cover it in the Power Pivot. Then we have something known as Power View, which is used to create the multiple visuals. So all the visuals which I have shown you, they are created using a Power View over here. Then we have something known as Power BI Service, which is used to share your visualizations. So the interface which I have shown you, if you have noticed, for showing you this report, I have logged in to a Power BI service account, right? So this is Power BI service interface. Okay. So a Power BI, a collection of these components. Proceeding further, why do we need Power BI? Why Power BI? So the number one answer is speed. Number one answer is speed. Power BI provides us a great speed. On an average, how much time does it take to create a chart in Excel? I hope all of you are working in Excel, right? We all work in Excel. So if I take on an average, somewhere we can take minimum time, we take 3 to 5 minutes to create a good chart in Excel. But in Power BI, it is just a matter of some practice. Any visual can be created within a minute. 1 minute is sufficient to create a visual in Power BI. That is the speed which Power BI provides. Then it is very much user friendly. Power BI is very much user friendly. No programming is required. No technical background is required. Anybody who can work in computer can work in Power BI. It is so simple. Third, eye-catching and interactive dashboards. Eye-catching and interactive dashboards. That is, as I have shown you, the dashboard, or I should to be more specific, I should call it as a report. So the report I have shown you, it is presentable, easily understandable, and it is interactive. Interactive means dynamic, something which can be updated during runtime. Okay, so I can make the changes to this report. Then maximum features. Power BI is the only visualization tool which has provided so many features. It is a feature rich product. If you take like examples, like in Excel, we have a lot of functions: text function, date function, number function, like left, right, upper, lower, trim, mid, find, date part, date div, date add, day, month, year, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. All these things are available in Power BI as well. Now you might be thinking, okay, if it is available in Power BI, it is also there in Excel. What's so exciting about it? So the thing which is exciting about is that all these functions are available in Power BI without writing any formula. On the simple clicks, you just have to click. Even in Excel, you have used nested if, right? That can also be done in Power BI. So I was talking about the features of Power BI. Somebody saying something? Okay. So maximum functions are available. Then another feature is Power BI is one of the cheapest visualization tool available in the market. The basic version of Power BI is free of cost. Okay. On the other hand, other tools are pretty expensive. Data connectivity. Power BI can connect to an n number of data source. More than 100 data source Power BI can connect to. So in simple words, you can say that Power BI, you name the data source and you will be able to connect to it. As simple as that. Okay, proceeding further. Now, how does Power BI works? So there are two major components which we will be using in the Power BI. The first is the Power BI desktop, which is used to create the reports. So this is the interface of Power BI desktop. Right here, we will be creating the different type of visuals, and this is the interface of Power BI service where we will see how to share the visualization. Once you have created and you wanted to share with the audience, how you will be sharing it. One more thing to highlight, let us take a normal scenario which happens in any organization. In all the organization, we say there is some reporting requirement, some sort of a reports being created on a daily, weekly, or a monthly basis, which is shared with the client or which is shared with the management, so that the management can take the corrective decisions and all basis on the data we have. Okay, so normally what happens, we create these reports are in the form of charts. We create the chart in Excel, we take that chart and put it into the PowerPoint, and we create a good presentation. And once the PowerPoint is PowerPoint presentation is being created, we share it the presentation to our respective recipient using Microsoft Outlook. So in the entire process, three tools has been involved, that is Excel, PowerPoint, and Microsoft Outlook. Okay, but we can get the data in Power BI. We can get the report created in the Power BI. Then we can ask the Power BI to send the report on your behalf. Okay, so supposingly there is a monthly report which needs to be sent every Monday 10 a.m. right? So you can ask the Power BI to do the needful for you. So Power BI will automatically be drafting a mail on your behalf and will be sending it to the respective recipient. Okay. Now you might be thinking that, okay, the report will be sent, who will refresh the data? Every week the data will change. Who will change or who will refresh the data? So again, answer is Power BI. You can ask Power BI to refresh the data also. So it becomes the three process taken care by the Power BI. You created the report once. You created the report only once. Now the Power BI will be refreshing the data for you, and it will be sending the mail on your behalf without you being present in the office, zero intervention. So your monthly, weekly, or a daily activity can be converted to a one-time activity. So this is the power which Power BI provides, right? And in this module, we will be majorly, because we have a time limitation, so we will be focusing majorly on the visualization part. We will be focusing on the visualization part. If time permits, I will show you how to share the visualization in Power BI service. Okay, let's proceed further. Now we have so two of the market leaders. So because most of the people ask me that what is the difference between Tableau and Power BI. So both the tools are the market leader. These are the awesome products. Okay, but just to compare, I have taken few points on which we are comparing Tableau and Power BI. So the first point is, the first feature I should say is data visualization. So the Tableau core focus is on the data visualization. Tableau says you give me the data in a proper format and I will visualize it wonderfully in the most easiest manner. And when it comes to Power BI will also say, yes, I will be able to help you to visualize any type of data in a very easily manner. But even if the data is not in a proper format, I will help you to get the data in a proper format. Right? So some additional features available in Power BI. So Power BI has a plus on this point. Comparing with the size of the data set, Tableau does not put any restriction on the size of the data set. There could be a small data or it could be a huge data. It will not impact Power BI. Sorry, it will not impact Tableau. Right? The size of data will not impact Tableau, but in Power BI, there is a size restriction. The free version of Power BI puts a size restriction of 1 GB data limit, right? And a paid version has a limit of 10 GB of data. So here I will give Tableau a plus. Data sources, Tableau can connect to all to the number of data sources, right? And in Tableau, we first connect to the data source and then we tell what all. So in this, first of all, we have to select the data set. In Tableau, we are connecting to the data set, I should say, to make it simple. But in Power BI, although I can connect to certain more data sources, but I import the data into Power BI. So that is one of the difference. How does Power BI and Tableau works? And the fourth part is the costing. Tableau is pretty expensive. The cost of Tableau is somewhere around $70 per user per month. On the other hand, Power BI basic version is free of cost and the paid version is just $10 per user per month. Okay. So that is the comparison between Tableau and Power BI. Both are awesome products. And to make it very simple, I can say that I compare Tableau with a mixer grinder and Power BI with a food processor. So we have used both the things in at our home. So in Power BI, in a food processor, we have so many attachments. It has a lot of functionality. It can do so many things. But when it talks to mixer grinder, it is the specialist of mixing and grinding only. So it depends on your requirement, what you have to do, and then you can select which one will be more appropriate for you. Okay. Proceeding further, here we have installing Power BI, how to install Power BI. Okay. So here I have given you a link to install the Power BI, and I will also share this link on the chat. Okay, here it goes. So I have given you the link. Let me click on this link. It will take me to the Microsoft site. Here you will see something known as Power BI Desktop. You will click on the download button and say open. It is opening Microsoft Store for you. On my machine, it is saying launch because it is already installed on my computer. But when you will say it will say install. You just need to click on install button. Everything will done automatically. One install, you will getting a launch button. This is the icon of Power BI desktop. So this is will be an icon appearing on your desktop, and you can just double click on this icon to get this. So the installation part is really simple over here. Okay, so this is how the Power BI can be installed over here. Downloading, here it is. So this is your first page of Power BI. So let's see this page over here. So this is your work area. Whatever visual you will be creating, it will be created over here, right? Here you will see the different type of visuals which can be created in the Power BI. You have two more tabs, filters and the fields. So you will see the fields once you get connected to the data source, or once you have the data in Power BI, you will be seeing the respective fields over here. Okay, these are the different views in Power BI. Okay, so first of all, this Power BI is a 3-step process. To work in Power BI, you just need to follow the 3 steps. Number 1, connect to the data source. Number 1, connect to the data source, that is get the data. To be more specific, we can say get the data. So you need to get the data in the Power BI. Second is choose the visualization. Tell Power BI what type of visual you wanted to create. And third is select the fields to be worked on. Tell Power BI which are the fields you wanted to work on. So let's try to do that practically. And I am connecting to the same data source which I have just shown you. So you can go to the get data. You can say Excel. I'm getting the data from the Excel. And let me go to the orders and I will say open. So the data is loading. Power BI takes some time to load the data. You can see a message created correction in model. So some background processing is going on. That's why it takes comparatively more time to load the data. Right. So here are the fields you have. So these are the fields from the data source, and these are the different type of visual. You take the visual you wanted to work on. Let me take the visual. So we have done the first step, that is getting the data. Second is select the visualization. So I'm selecting, I want to get a stacked column chart. So I have got a stacked column chart. I can resize this visual as per the requirement. So let me resize this visual. Right, I have resized this visual. Then now two options: connect to the data source, done. Choose the visualization as done. Select the fields to be worked on. So I need to display the sales on the basis of subcategory for an example. So here it is, and you will see there are two sections over here. One is the fields and another is the formatting options. So fields, depending on the visual, these options will change. So here in the column chart, I will take the sales into the values because I want to display the sales on the basis of, let me take the subcategory into the axis. So I'm getting the sales on the basis of subcategory is being displayed over here. Okay, we are getting the sales on the basis of subcategory. If you want, we can do some formatting over here. So I can go to the formatting option, and there is an option called data label. So I can display the data labels. So these are the data labels being displayed over here, but the data labels are appearing very small. So I can increase the size of the data label. So you can click on this drop down arrow. You can see the default size is 9. Let me make it as 16. Right, so it is very much visible over here. Also, you can notice that the labels are appearing very small, X and Y axis labels. So you can go to the X and Y axis. Let me go to the X axis and let me make it as 16. Let me make it as 16. Hmm. Okay. So now there is a lot of formatting options. Let me highlight few of the major ones. So here you can format the X and Y axis, even if you want to change the color. So you can change the X axis. Let's take some different color. Let me take it as orange. And Y axis also, I would like to change the color over here. Let me make it as orange. Right. Data labels here also, if you want, you can change the color of the data labels. On the top, you can say sales by subcategory. If you don't want, you can make it as off. So the title will be removed. If you want, you can take it as on. Let me go to the title. Just click on this drop down arrow. If you wanted to format it, you can say subcategory sales. Let me make the alignment as center. Let me make it as 16, or let me make it as 20. Right? And you can also change the color of this. I will also take it as orange. So I'm just showing you a few of the formatting options over here. The background, if you want some background color, you can put some background color. Let me try to take the black as the background color. So this is the background color over here. Any border, shadow. So you can see some shadow is appearing. We can go to the border. We can change the border color. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's border color. And I can, in the radius, I can make it as a rounded corner. You can see it has become a rounded corner over here. And all right, then if you want to change the color of the bar, so you can have that option called data colors and make it as this. So it has been changed. Okay. Right. So here you have the visual, which is displaying the subcategory sales over here. Right. Any point of time you wanted to resize it, you can resize this visual. This is how it is getting displayed. Okay, it's clear. Yes, fine. Thank you. So as of now, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. And particularly in this, we will be focusing majorly about the visualization, right? I will try to give you the max which I can give you in the limited period of time. Okay, so as of now, our focus will be on the visualization. We will see how to create a different type of visual. So this is the first visual which we have created, and this is the stacked column chart which we have taken over here. So we have done the 3 steps. Number 1, getting the data. Number 2, choosing the visualization. Number 3, select the fields to be worked on, and we are getting this visualization. Let's take another example over here. So I will once again take the same visual, that is stacked column chart. I will resize it. Okay, let me put the sales into the values and subcategory into the axis. So I'm getting the subcategory sales over here. If you want, you can get the, let us put the region into the legend and see what happens. You are getting a stacked column chart over here. So each color is representing a particular region. I can go to the formatting. I can display the data label. So you are getting the data labels over here. And the total labels also I am displaying. If you want to, okay. Before I do anything else, you can see all the text is appearing very small. All the text is being displayed over here is very small, and every time you will be creating a visual, you have to change this. You have to change the font size, which becomes quite troublesome. So let's do one thing. I can go to the view. Under the view, you will be having an option called, you just click on this drop down arrow, say customize current theme. Write in the text, and here in this you can specify the size. The default size is 16 now. Say apply. You can see that the labels are appearing in a bigger size. Okay. And if you don't want these decimal places, so you can just modify it. Go to the formatting. Let me go to the labels over here. Decimal places, I say I want 0 decimal. So now you can see that the decimal places has been removed from here. And now it is clearly, if you want, I'm not doing it as of now, but if you want, you can do the other formatting as well. So just as I wanted to give you an idea, I'm not doing the formatting. So you can just play around with the formatting part over here. So it is displaying the region wise sales. So this is the Western region sales. So the phone's Western region sales is 99,000, South is 58, East is 101, and Central is 72,000. So this is what we are getting in a stacked column chart. Okay, let's take another visual over here. The next chart we have over here is the stack. Before that, let us take one more. So this was the stacked column chart. Then we also have something known as a stacked bar chart. If you will take a stacked bar chart, you will be getting a horizontal line instead of vertical. So I'm taking the same example, sales. Another way is, one way is you drag and drop to the respective place. Another way is you just click on this. So it will be going to the most appropriate place. And if that place is not suitable for you, you can change it. So you are getting the subcategory sales over here. And if you notice that the text size is appearing bigger over here. Okay, let me put the region, or let's try to put category into the color, into the legend, sorry. So you can see the each category has been highlighted in a different color. Technology is orange, furniture is light blue, and office supplies is dark blue. Or what if we put a region into the legends? So here it is, we are getting, so you can say this and this visual are same. The only difference is a horizontal and a vertical chart. And here also, if you want to, right? So this is a stacked bar chart. Let's see what comes next over here. And now we were talking about a pie chart. So let's see how can we create a pie chart. So we will be taking a pie over here. Simple, very simple over here. You take a pie. Now you have taken a pie chart. Now you can tell what all. Suppose I want to get this sales. Pie chart is normally used for percentage bifurcation. So I wanted to see the percentage contribution of each region in the overall sales. So let me take the sales into the values, and I would like to put the region into the legend. And you can see the bifurcation of the sales according to the region. So we can see that this is which region? The West region has given us the sales of 31%. Now let's make it some formatting and let's make it more appropriate and informative. So I don't want the legend. These are known as the legend. I wanted to switch off the legend. And you will see a detailed label over here. So you can go to the detailed label, click on the drop down, and you will see there's an option called all detailed label. So you are getting the region, you are getting the value, and you are also getting the percentage over here. Right? Formatting and all can be done. You can put the colors and all over here. Display unit, it is upping auto. I want to make it as 1000. And decimal places, I will say I don't want any decimal places, neither I want the percentage decimal places. So you can see that the percentage has been, decimal places has been removed over here. If you wanted to increase the text size, let me make it as 16 or 18. So the text size has been increased over here. Title and all, if you don't want the title, you can remove the title also. That's it. Okay, so here you are getting this region wise bifurcation of the sales, where the west is giving us the maximum sales 32%, central has given 22%, east is 30, and south is 17%. That means I can say that the maximum sales has been given by the west and the east region. Okay, so this is a pie chart over here. So pie chart which is used for percentage comparison. Let's proceed further and see what next which is coming up over here. After the pie chart, we have something known as donut chart. Donut chart is similar to the, or I should say it is same like pie chart. The only difference is you can say it is a pie with a hole. There is a hole within the pie. So let's take, I will take the same example, and this is a donut chart we have. Let me take the donut chart and let me resize it. Let me take the sales. Oops, so I need to select it. Let me take the sales. Sales on the basis of region. So I'm getting the region wise bifurcation of the sales. Quick formatting. So I can go over here. I don't want the legend. I want legend of. I would like to give the detailed labels. And display units in thousands. And percentage decimal also 0. Let's increase the size of it. This is what it is coming. And so rest background, all you will be getting over here also. Then you have something known as shapes over here. You can go to the shape and there is something known as inner radius. So you can increase or you can decrease. So if you will remove it, it will become a pie. So it is actually a pie. Right. So this is, you are getting a donut over here. Title, I don't want the title over here. If you want to set any background, you can set the background. Like this, you can put a background over here. Okay, if you don't want the background, you can remove the background. Okay, so this background, color, border, shadow, all these things remain same. And suppose here I am giving the region wise bifurcation of the sales. Let me try to put it on the basis of subcategory. So let me remove the region and let's put subcategory over here. So you are getting the subcategory wise bifurcation of the sales over here. So you can see phones and chairs are giving the maximum contribution, which is which is 14%, 14%. Okay. So this is a donut chart over here. Donut. So this is a donut chart. Let's proceed further. Okay. The next visual we have is a funnel chart. Funnel chart is a very informative visual we have in Power BI. Okay, so let's create a funnel over here. This is a funnel chart. Funnel is also used for a percentage comparison. So let me take the sales. You will see that the fields has been changed, group, value and all. So let me take the sales into the values and let me put the, or let's take subcategory into the group. Now here you are getting the subcategory wise bifurcation of the sales, and here you are getting the 100%, and the last one, the fastness is 0.9%. Okay, and so let's first of all do a quick formatting onto it. So I will go over here, category. So here this is known as the category. If you don't want this, you can switch it off, but I want this, so I will take this. If I want, I can change the color. Then we have data colors. If you want to change the color of these bars, you can change the color of these bars. Let me make it as a golden bar over here. And then data labels. So these are the data labels. You can also change the color of the data labels if you want. Data labels, and display units is in thousands. I don't want the decimal places, so I'm removing the decimal places over here. All right, percentage decimal. So let's take the percentage decimal as one. Position is inside center. Okay, size, let me reduce the size to 12. 12 is smaller. Let's take 40. Right, we have done some formatting over here. Then you have some conversion over here, so you can make it off. So you can see that the bar which is appearing of 100%, that range is not appearing over here. Title, even I don't want the title, so I can switch off the title. The background, let's try to put some background over here. I will take the background color as black. Here it is. And then you can also use the border and the shadow. Border, which could be of any color you want, and you can make it as a rounded color border. Right, so this is your funnel chart. Now let us say, what does this funnel chart shows us? Right, so phone, the total sales of phone is 330,000. That is 100% of first. First is the phone, and it is comparing it to itself, so obviously it will be 100%. The second is chairs. Chairs, the total sales is 328,000, which is 99% of the first, and the first is the phones, and the previous is also the phone. So that's why the percentage is coming to be the same, 99%. Let us talk about the tables. The sales of the table is 267,000. The sales of the table is 207,000, and it is 62% of the first. The first is the phone, and 92% of the previous is the storage. So basically what it is doing, it has given us the comparison of that, like maximum sales has been given by the phones, and the minimum sales has been given from the fasteners. Okay, and it is also comparing an individual with the first one, the one which has given us the maximum sales, and one immediate the previous one, first and the previous. So if I talk about the paper, the sales of paper is 78,000, and with respect to the first, that is phones, with respect to the first, it is 23% of the sales, and with respect to the previous, it is to the previous, that is furnishing, it is 85% of the furnishing. Right, so you can see so much of information you are getting with minimum efforts. Minimum efforts we have put in to get this visual in front of you. Okay, so this is a funnel chart. Not funnel, it's funnel. Okay, the next visual, one of the wonderful visual we have in the Power BI is the ribbon chart. It is very useful, very powerful, and very informative visual available in the Power BI. So let's see what information does it displays. So let me go over here, and this is the ribbon chart. So here is the ribbon chart. Let me take the sales on the basis of order date. Here it is. So it is appearing as a simple bar chart. It is appearing as a simple bar chart, but there is, let's try to put something into the legend. So let's try to put a region into the legend and see what happens. Here it is. And let me also display the data labels. So we have put in the data labels as on. Okay. Now data. Right. We have switched on the data labels. Now, if these the different color indicates the different region, west being then the purple color. So in the 2017, the sales, sorry, 2014, the sales of western region is 147,000 in yes. So it is showing you the western region sales in the year 2014, which is 147,000. If we will go over here, it is giving me the sales of 2015, that is 139,000. Then if we will go over here, it is giving me the western region sales in the year 2016, that is 187,000. So you can see whenever I am putting my pointer on the bar, it is giving me the sales of that respective region for that particular year. Okay, now let's see what happens if I put my pointer onto the ribbon and see what information we are getting. So it is saying in the 2014, the sales of the western region was 147,000, but in 15 it is 139,000. The sales has been dipped by 7,000, and there is a dip in the sales by 5%. In 2014, West was at number 1, but in 15 it has moved out to the number 2. Right? It has moved down to the number 2, and the rank has been decreased by 1 position. Right? So rank has been dipped by 1 position. Now, if I put my pointer between 15 and 16 and see what happens. In 2015, the sales was 139,000, but in 16, the sales is 187,000. So there is a sales change of 47,000. The sales has been increased by 47,000. That is, there is 33% increase in the sales. In 2015, the sales was at second position, and in 16, it is as first position. So the rank has been changed by 1 position. Now let us take an example of 16 and 17, and here you say in 16 the sales was 187,000, and in 17 it is 250,000. So there is a sales has been increased by 62,000. That means there is a percentage increase of 33%. Okay, in 2016 where West was at number 1, and in 17 also it is at number 1. So see, so convenient, we are getting so much of information over here. Okay, so this is the ribbon chart, very informative, wonderful visual we have over here is the ribbon chart. So let's quickly, let me deliver the value. Okay, so I am stopping this chat, and let's proceed on. So the last visual which we have talked about was the ribbon chart over here. Let's see what comes next. So the next thing which is coming up over here is include exclude. Another wonderful feature which Power BI provides is, so let me create a visual over here. So I'm creating a stacked column chart once again over here, and I would like to display, let me resize this. I would like to display the sales on the basis of subcategory and getting it bifurcated on the basis of region. I'm going to the quick formatting, displaying the data labels. Here it goes, right? So here I have a visual which displays the region wise bifurcation, sorry, subcategory and region wise bifurcation of the sales. Now I want, let's see, the phones and the chairs has given us the maximum sales. So I just wanted to see if I exclude the sales of the Western region, what is the status of the phones and chairs? So I can click on this, I will right click over here and you will see there is an option called exclude. Let me exclude this and see now in the phones and the chairs, the Western region sales is not included, but even then they are appearing at the position number 1 and 2. Right? So if you wanted to exclude something, you can exclude it like this. It has came into the filter, you will just remove and it will be back over here. Now, suppose you wanted to one, two, three, 4, and 5. Let me right click over here and I wanted to say include. Let's say include, and this is what we are getting over here. So we are only comparing machine, tables, binder, storage, and accessories, the South sales for these respective categories we are getting. I can put it on the cross and I will get all the things back. Right? Now you also have one more thing. Let's take, I wanted to talk about paper West region. The sales is 26,000. I can click on this, right click over here, and there's an option called show data point as table. I will click on the show data point as table. Show data point as table and see you are getting the details over here. All the transaction details are being displayed over here for that particular data point. Okay, I will say back to report. You will be back to the main visual over here. Also, you can right click on any of the data point and you will say show as table. And here it goes. Show as table. You are getting the tabular view of that report over here. You will say back to report. It will be going to the original. Right. So that is basic include and exclude. Then export data. This I have already shown you. Now, let's talk about the tabular data in Power BI. How can we manage the tabular data in Power BI? So let's go over here. So to maintain the tabular data, we have something known as tables over here. So we can take the tables. Let me resize it. Here we have values. So let me put let us take the category. I want to also put the subcategory. Let me put the sales. Category wise, subcategory wise sales is being displayed over here. So here we are getting a tabular data. You want to put, you have only one field. Whatever you want to display, you can put it over here. If you also want to see the profit, just drag and drop. So it is also displaying the profit. If you want to see the discount, you can also discount, put the drag and drop. You wanted to see discount. I also want to see the quantity. You can simply drag and drop. So sales, profit, discount, quantity on the basis of the category and the subcategory is being displayed over here. So this is how we can maintain the tabular data in Power BI using the tables. Now let us see quickly some of the formatting options over here. Let me increase the width of this. Okay, let us go to the formatting and let's see few of the formatting options. So you can change the color on all. So I will go to the values. Let me change the color. I will like to put some different color. Let me take the blue color over here. So I have taken the font color as, sorry, blue, and I will here also I will make the font color, sorry, as we have taken blue over here. So the font color is blue. Then we have the background color. If you want to give some background color, let me take it as light blue. So this is the font color coming. Now we have an alternate color. If you don't want this alternate color, you can also take it as same. So this is how it is appearing. So you have formatted the values and all, and you can go to the total if you want to format the totals, whether you want the total or not. If you switch off the total will not be displayed, or you can switch on the total. You can display the font color and all. So let me put it in the white color, and the background I would like to make it as of a dark color. So I'm getting a reverse over here. Then you can have the title if you want the title. So I don't want any title, any background and all. If required, you can put the background color over here. Let's take something like this. So I'm getting the background color for the entire table. Border, shadow, tooltip, column headers. If you want to do some formatting on the column header, so let me make it as a dark color. So this is font color white, and background I will make it as dark. Okay. Then some grid formatting. You can see some grids are appearing over here. You can switch off the grid. So the grid has been, row padding is the width of the, see, the width is increasing over here. So we have increased the width. Hmm. Okay, here it is. So this is how you can create a table over here. Let me give one more example of a table. Once again, I will take a tabular data and I will like to take the subcategory. Let me take, okay, only I will take the subcategory sales, quantity, discount, profit. I have taken over here. Let me resize this. And let me go to the formatting. In the previous option, I have manually formatted each of the option over here. But here, let me go to the style. Just like in Excel, we have some predefined styles or table auto format. Here also we have some styles. So we can check over here where I can say bold headers. So the headers are appearing in a bold over here. Then you can say alternated rows, or you can say contrast alternating rows, and so on. So you can try bold headers, flashy rows, something like this. So you can select whichever you feel like. So I will go with the bold headers over here. Right, let me increase the width of this. This is what we are getting over here. Hmm. Here it is. So we have done some predefined formatting over here. Then you can also do the field formatting. You can go to the field, and if you wanted to format a particular field, let's take subcategory. I want to display the subcategory in, say, let's take orange color. So the subcategory is being displayed in the orange color. So you can do the field formatting over here. Then you also have something known as conditional formatting over here. You can go to the conditional formatting and you can select conditional formatting. You must be familiar with this word. We use conditional formatting in Excel. So we do have a similar sort of a conditional formatting in Power BI as well. So let us select, I want to do the conditional formatting on the sales, and I want to format the background color. So let me just switch on this background color over here. So you can see you are getting the background color shading darker to the lightest. Let me click over here. So darker color indicating the higher sales and a lighter color indicating the lesser sales. So automatically it has given you the colors over here, darker to the lightest, indicating the sales value over here, right? Then I also want to do some conditional formatting on the quantity. So let's take the quantity we have. Let's take the data bars over here. So you are getting the bars within the data. The bigger the bar, more the sales. The smaller the bar, the lesser the sales. You can see over here like this. Okay, so we are getting the bars within the data. If you, and then let me do some formatting on the discount as well. So I want to give the discount a font color. So you can see that the font color is appearing, more discount, darker color, lesser discount, lighter color is appearing over here. You can click on this small triangle so that the data will be sorted on the basis of the color. Now, if you think that the color is very light and not visible, you can go to the advanced control and you can change the color over here. Let me take a more darker color over here, and it should be not that light. So let me increase this. Okay. Right. So comparatively better it is appearing over here. Right. Then let us say I also wanted to format conditional formatting on the profit over here. So I can go over here and I can display the icons over here. So you are getting some icons over here, which is indicating, let me click on this. So we are getting, so these are the one which are generating the good sales, good profit, average profit, and these are the one which are not giving a great profit. So it is automatically bifurcating it on the 33%. Overall profit divided 33%, 66%, and the 99%. This is how it is being distributed. So this is how we are getting automatically the conditional formatting over here. Okay, one more example which I would like to give you of the table. Once again, I am taking the same example. I am taking the tabular data for the subcategory sales over here. Let me take the subcategory sales over here. I will take the sales once again over here. Okay, before which I'm talking about the table aggregations. By default, I'm always getting the sum of the sales. What if I need the percentage? So I can click on this drop down arrow and you will see there is an option called show value as percentage of grand total. So now you are getting the percentage contribution rather than the sales value. If you also want the sales, you can put the sales once again, and here you can display the sales. And suppose I want the count over here. How many sales has been done, how many transactions has been done under each category. So I can click on this drop down and you will see there is an option called count. So I'm getting in the accessories, the total sales done has been 775. Let me put the sales over here. Sales. Right. So I'm getting the percentage, I'm getting the count, I'm getting the sales value. Suppose I wanted to display over here the average sales. What is the average sales? So average sales per transaction is, this is the average sales per transaction. Okay. Now out of the 775 transactions, I wanted to see which is the maximum sales value. So I can go over here and I can say the maximum over here. So the maximum sales value is this. Oh, I have taken, sorry, minimum. I have taken minimum. So let me take the sales once again. And let me take maximum over here. So the maximum sales value and the minimum sales value is being displayed over here. Let me click on this. This is what we are getting. So we have done different aggregations in the different aggregations has been done in the table. Okay, so this is how we maintain the tabular data over here. Moreover, there is, let's see what comes next. So here we have talked about the tabular data. We have talked about the formatting of the tabular data, table aggregations we have talked about. Then we have something known as Power BI metrics. Another way of maintaining the data in Power BI is Power BI metrics, tabular data. So let me take the matrix over here and let's see what is the difference between the table and the matrix. Here it is. Now in the table, you are getting only one field, that is value, but here you also get the row and the column. So let me take the sales into the values, and I want to display the sales on the basis of, let's take the category and the region. So you see you are getting the data in a cross tabular format, which shows region wise, category wise sales is being displayed over here. In the central furniture, the sales is this much. Eastern office supplies, the sales is this, and so on. The total sales of central region is this, and the total sales of furniture is this. So this is known as a cross tabular format. Now, if you wanted to put along with the category, you also need the subcategory. See what happens. Let me move it over here. Let me put the subcategory into the rows. Right? So, but you see there is no impact on the visual, but if you notice carefully, you will see there's a small button appearing with it. A small icon appearing, you just click on this furniture. Now it will be drilled down over here. Somebody has pointed about the drill down. So you can see that the furniture has been drilled down to the subcategories. You click on the office supplies. So office supplies has been drilled down. Right? If you will click on this again, it will be expand and the collapse feature is appearing over here. Also notice when you have added one more field over here, you are getting some new icons over here, and these icons are referred to as hierarchy icons. So you click on this double-headed arrow and you will see the next level in the hierarchy. So furniture has gone to the next level over here. Category, subcategory wise details is being displayed over here. You click on the up arrow, it will say drill up. You will be again back to the category over here. You will click on the double arrows, not double-headed arrow, but the double arrow. So you will be going to the next level in the hierarchy. So instead of furniture, you will be getting the, instead of category, we are getting the subcategory over here. Let me go back to the original one. And let me put the segment into the region also. Right? Now see what happens. If I click on the double-headed arrow, it is only impacting the category, not the region. So if you wanted to impact the region from drill on, you have to say columns over here. Now click on double-headed arrow. Now you are getting category wise, region wise, subcategory wise, segment wise, sales is being displayed over here. You can say drill up. You can go to the rows and say drill up. Now you can say double-headed arrow. So it will go to the next level. You are getting the subcategory and region wise details. You can select the columns over here. Let me select the column over here and I will click on the double arrows. I'm getting the subcategory and the segment wise sales over here. Right? So this is how you can do use the matrix over here. Formatting and all remains the same. You can format the matrix. You can go over here. You can do whatever formatting. You can specify the styles over here. Let me take bold headers over here. So the same thing will be applicable. All the conditional formatting which you have given, let me go to the conditional formatting. And I would like to put a sales a background color. So you can see a background color is appearing according to the value. Okay. So rest everything is same, just like table. The only difference is here we have the matrix hierarchy and it gives a cross tabular data. Row and column format is there. So this is known as Power BI data matrix. Right? Now we will see more visuals in Power BI. A few more visuals are there which we will be working on in this module of Power BI, but for which you have to wait for one more day. We will be connecting in our next session and then we will be proceeding on with this module.